and be mine.
Hello, my undead ghouls. What's up? I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time. I just was holding off to it until I got all the regular endings to the game. And I procrastinated even longer, but here it is. This is like a spoiler-free take on a game that I've been really enjoying lately. Not just the game itself, but like the lore and everything else. The game I'm talking about today is Fear and Hunger. I've only played the first one so far, but I'm looking forward to be playing the second one, which is Fear and Hunger Termina, which will be very exciting to play through. I know a little bit about it, but I haven't been like looking too much into it because I want to be playing it through with you guys on the channel for the first time. But I want to talk a little bit about the first game in particular for this video. Reasons that I really enjoy this without giving away too much of what actually goes on in the game. I just wanted to say that the lore of the game is really good. Like, if you are into horror, if you're into, let's say, medieval, or if you're into like different like concepts on religion, politics, and even just history for that matter. Like, the first game takes place in the Renaissance, like medieval era of the world, but it takes place. It's like the world of Fear and Hunger is very similar to real life, mixed with different concepts and different ideologies and stuff. Like, for example, like in the second game, it takes place like to the real world equivalent of World War II. But in the first game, there's just like there's concepts of Christianity and other kinds of religions mixed with like monsters and other things that kind of like all kind of crump together, like kind of like real life facts mixed with other things. Which, like, even one of the enemies called the Crow Mauler, the guy that made the game, he really liked the Resident Evil games. And if you know who Pyramid Head is, Crow Mauler is resemblance of Pyramid Head in a way of where it stalks you through the dungeon as you're it's like a really hard to kill enemy that stalks you through the dungeon that I hate. But that's just like one example of like concepts that this creator has taken to mix all together into one big thing that is like, it's really cool. So why is your character in this dungeon, and what even is the dungeon? Well, I won't tell you too much about like what goes on inside the dungeon, but the reason that your character goes to the dungeon is to find a man named Lagarde. Lagarde is very important to the 4 individuals you can start the game as. So one of the characters you can play, for example, is Darce. She's like the lawful and pure knight. She loves the man that has been captured and is imprisoned in this dungeon, and she's set off to save him. And you kind of get that through the starting dialogues of the game, and you can find out like slowly like what happens to her, as well as the other 3 individuals in the game. Like another one is Ragnarbolder. He's more like the barbarian, like Viking type character. He is actually going towards the dungeon to find Lagarde to kill him. He has a vendetta against this man, which is interesting because the 4 main characters you can actually find in the dungeon. If you're not playing as one, you can actually recruit the others, which can cause some pretty interesting conflict between your own party members. Another character which a lot of people seem to have as the favorite is a mercenary named Gahara. Now, Gahara, he's interesting too because you find out later that he's not really like, I won't spoil too much, but he is a thief. You know that he's a thief and he's a mugger and he's supposed to be this bad guy, but I'll wait until you see really what he's all about. He's probably one of the most kindest one of the 4. And then everyone's favorite edgelord, Enki. He's actually one of my favorite characters. He's so blunt, honest, and just like, fuck you all, pretty much, to everybody else. He's here mostly because he just wants to pursue knowledge. He's there for the gods. He wants their power. He wants to go gain more power to crush people and just kind of do his own thing. Which, I mean, I might be a little wrong about that, but I know he's more of the power-hungry / wants to know all the spells and knowledge of the group. And then I go back to Kahara. Why is he in the dungeon? He kind of wants to find Le'Garde mostly because he's... well, Kahara's a mercenary, and he's kind of just there because he wants to rescue him in hopes of getting a high pay reward. Another really cool thing about this game is it's packed with secrets and different routes to take it. There's, like, depending on what you do in the game, of course it is an RPG, but there's, like, and it has elements of you do this and then this happens, but if you don't do this, this happens. And along with that, there is 5 different main endings to the game, to where any character you're able to achieve it with on the basic difficulty, you can do whatever you want in the dungeon pretty much to try to get to the whatever ending you're trying to do, and your consequences matter and can lock you out of certain endings. Now, there are 2 other difficulty modes on this game, which there is the Terror and Starvation mode, which kind of is just a harder version of the main game, and then there is the Hard mode, which you can actually achieve S endings in the game. And trust me, the regular Fear and Hunger mode, the default mode, is no easy task. The best part about this game is learning and continuing. You will die a lot. The guy that made the game also really enjoyed Dark Souls and, like, the deep lore and, like, of frustrating but, like, risk-reward behavior. It's really cool, and it's really, like, when you figure something out and get past it, it's just that sense of accomplishment and that you pushed through. And even when you figure out things for the first time that others didn't, it's kind of cool because you're like, oh, I'm smart, I figured that out. But I will say this game is very difficult, so, like, if you're just in it for the lore, I would just study the lore or watch a playthrough or something. Hey, I have a playthrough. But if you are up for the challenge, I really do recommend you try this game out. It is really fun to play, actually. It does get frustrating at times, but it is actually pretty fun and pretty cool of what happens in the game. If you can get the S endings, go for it. You got to play through the whole game without saving once. And you can't recruit people, so other than undead. So you can actually animate undead in this game, but naturally you can't really get followers in the hardest difficulty unless you cheat one of the debug menus. But yeah, I strongly suggest, if you're watching this video up to this point, to try this game out. Even if you already know everything about it, I would definitely play this game. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day.